And you can see holes in his physique. This is a scary looking physique. Bro looks like an alien. He's... Coach Greg, in today's video, who is the leanest man in the world? And I'm not talking about on stage as a competitor for 5 minutes. I'm talking about every single day of his life. Well, I do believe that I've found him, and he goes by the name Stepan Eteshev. Something like that. On Instagram, it says he has 2.4 million followers. He's a fitness model, a motivator, and content creator. You probably have seen him at some point if you go on Instagram. He's that bald guy with the crazy abs and the crazy body. He's absolutely shredded. And before I get into this video, let's put this out of the way. I do believe that he's 100% natural. I don't think he uses performance-enhancing drugs. I don't think he takes diuretics. I don't think he takes anything. I just think he naturally has the kind of body, perhaps 1 in 10 million, whatever, that can hold sub 5% body fat with no problem whatsoever. If I were coaching him, the first thing I would be doing is saying, bro, you need to bulk. And you all know that I, of all people, am probably the one that encourages you to main gain the most. But when you're this lean, I do believe that it's hurting your gains. And so bro has a very chiseled jawline. Is he right now doing the Zoolander? Is he doing the Riz pose? You can see just how much his bones are protruding through his face. I mean, I'm surprised his skin doesn't split open just from the pointiness of his bones. And so he's got the blue wristbands. You can clearly see the vascularity running through his shoulders. He looks contest ready, and he's flexing the transverse abdominals. He's flexing the abs right here and not really flexing his obliques. And so depending on how he's standing, where he's flexing, each muscle is going to appear leaner. What am I even seeing? Did you see the striations of bro's calves? He has lines going up and down. He has absolutely no fat on his body. And so if I had to guess, I would say he's probably holding close to 3% body fat. There's no fat on him. I don't think this is healthy, but perhaps for his body, he's able to maintain it. Now, do I suggest that you all strive to look like this? Absolutely not. I don't think this is good for you. I don't think it's healthy. But for his body, perhaps he can do it. Now, there is obviously a chance that he's suffering from an ED. And I'm not talking about erectile dysfunction. I'm talking about the other ED. If you are suffering and trying to get harder than last time, of course you can use code Greg for 15% off. Clearly, he likes this look. Almost every single one of his photos that you see on Instagram, he's shirtless. I see one with he has a blue tank top on, and essentially every single photo, he's topless. And so he clearly likes his look. He likes being this lean, and he's known for it. How do you think he amassed millions of followers? He stands out because of his shreds. And so is it possible that he's this lean because he gets more popularity, more fame? I 100% believe this to be the case. And so if he wanted to actually put on muscle, he would need to eat significantly more calories. I mean, does bro weigh, what, 140 pounds? Perhaps even less. He doesn't have a lot of muscle, but what he does have is conditioning. And so because he's so lean, you can see every fiber, and that appears to have more muscle. But if he were in a t-shirt and pants walking around, you would think that he's likely a marathon runner. He has his cheeks sunken in. He looks emaciated. And so although it's impressive that he's this shredded, he doesn't have a lot of muscle. If I were coaching this person, if I were perhaps his friend, I'd be asking him, do you suffer from something? Is there a reason you're this lean? And you may be thinking, what's wrong with being this lean? Let him look the way he likes. Is it in fact impacting his health? For most people, I would say at least 99.9% of people, if they were in fact this lean year round, it would negatively be impacting their life. When you diet to the extent, remember, he can't be eating a lot of calories. He has excessively low body fat levels, and that oftentimes will reduce your testosterone. And so, of course, I would recommend him to be on G-Test Platinum, but even better than that, and obviously if you want this, you can get code Greg for 15% off. I would suggest he ups his calories. If he went from 3 to perhaps 6 or 7% body fat, he would not only look and feel better, at least in my opinion, he would be able to put on significantly more muscle. If you're asking girls, if I lined them up and I showed them this guy and said, is this your dream physique? Is this what you wish your man could look like? I'm almost certain that almost all of them would say no. The ideal body fat that most women are attracted to, remember not all, but most, is 10 to 15% body fat and likely 10 to 12% being ideal for physical attraction. And so if you're dieting to try to look like this, thinking, oh, the girls, they'll want to look at me. Yeah, they'll look at you, but they'll look at you and run. They'll be scared. This is a scary looking physique. Bro looks like an alien. Notice he's flexing only the abdominals in the front, tensing like this. And so you can see he's flexing here. He's not flexing there. And you can see holes in his physique. And notice how small his legs are. His legs are very, very tiny. He has some decent looking biceps, but he's absolutely shredded. Rarely do you ever see someone this lean, even on stage. He's got the shaved head. He's bald. Looks like he's from another planet. Just peeled. Just freaking peeled. I mean, like, you have no idea how lean this is. He's just standing there. That's the next photo. He's just standing there, and his delts are striated from top to bottom. It's as if he's competing, that he's standing on stage. And this is just him in his off season. He's rubbing his calves. He knows just how lean his calves are. And when I get shredded, my calves are oftentimes my leanest body part, perhaps the body part that stands out the most. They're not that big, but very, very lean. He starts the video and he's scratching it. He has an itch in his calf muscle. It looks freaky. Calf with the pizza. I doubt he's eating a lot of pizzas. And if he does eat pizza, he's likely having low-calorie pizza. He's eating in a calorie deficit. I believe that this guy has been main gaining for years, but he's not putting on a lot of muscle. When I explain to people that you should main gain, it's at a healthy body fat percentage for you. That is not 5 or 4 or 3% body fat. It's a lot higher. And so unless perhaps you're on HRT or you're a cardiovascular endurance athlete, you most likely you're going to need to be at 10% body fat or more in order to be able to main gain effectively. And so I asked him some questions, and so he reached out. He's from Russia, 35 years of age, and he's 182 centimeters tall, and he weighs 70 kilograms. And so he's 6 feet tall and 154 pounds. And so clearly, he's not big. He works out at home mainly on horizontal bars and parallel bars, and he maintains strict discipline in training and nutrition. And so when I hear strict discipline in training and nutrition, that means that he doesn't veer off. He's always training, always eating, and on a very specific diet. He's not out having cheat days, binges, and so on. He said he has no interest in competing in bodybuilding competition, and he's never been tested for body fat percentage. He states that he's always been like this. On social media, they call me an ectomorph. Most likely, he is an ectomorph. If he wasn't, how would he be able to maintain a level of physique this lean? Most people who have this low body fat levels, and this includes me, I don't think I've ever been this lean in my life, but when I do diet for bodybuilding competitions, I would be like a walking zombie. I wouldn't be able to think clearly, I wouldn't be able to train effectively, and so if I tried to maintain a physique as lean as this, I would literally hate my life. It would be as if I'm sick. I couldn't function. I wouldn't have energy to train, let alone to walk. And so he says, I love freedom. Eating a lot is not freedom. I guess for him, freedom is being shredded. I don't understand how having a very strict diet, very strict training regimen allows him to have freedom. And so I wrote, ever thought about eating more calories to put on more muscle? It's very hard to put on muscle when you're under 5% body fat. I love freedom. Eating a lot is not freedom. I mean, did I say you have to eat 10,000 calories a day? I said, if you eat more calories, you could put on more muscle. I do believe that the majority of those extra calories would turn to muscle. When you're at 3 or 4% body fat, let's assume he's eating 2,000 calories a day. If he ate 2,200 calories a day, do you think those extra 200 calories would make him fat? Or do you think likely that a lot of it would turn to muscle? And so he doesn't care. He doesn't want more muscle. He likes being mind-blowing shredded at all costs. And so perhaps he feels like if he put on 1 or 2 percentages of body fat, if he was at 5.5%, that somehow he would lose his freedom. If you want to look like this, or you do look like this, you're as lean as this, you need to eat more calories. This is not the look that you should be striving for. Yeah, I get it. It's 2025. You can look how you want. Yeah, and I can say what I want. And what I'm saying is, if you try to look like this, it's going to hurt your health. You're not going to have as much energy, and you're not going to be able to put on as much muscle. You may be thinking, yeah, but he has 2.4 million followers. It clearly worked. Yeah, he got followers, but is it worth it? When you're this lean, low levels of testosterone, brain fog, you can hardly sleep properly, can hardly think. You have to ask yourself, is it worth sacrificing all those things just to have a crazily defined six-pack? Bro, please eat. Bro, you need to bulk and do it now, during and after with this sound. Bro, how about you eat for once? Holy mental illness. And so that word that ends with rexia. He's leaner now. What the F? What I'm seeing is a guy who's posting multiple photos a day, hoping one of them will go viral. And in all of his photos, his physique is leaner than last time. Perhaps it's a mental addiction. He's obsessed with being shredded, but I don't think this is healthy. And it's very shocking to see, but it's not a healthy look. And so I have to warn people. I mean, is he in fact a fitness influencer? It says fitness model, content creator, motivator, but I'm not sure what he motivates you to do. If the motivation is to try to struggle to get down to 3% body fat, then I don't believe that's the right message. And he looks freaky, but I don't think he's somebody that we should copy. I don't think we should strive to look like this. Remember, you can look the way you want, but if it comes at a cost to your health, then I don't think it's a good idea. Now, if you're interested in getting in better shape, healthier, of course, I'm doing coaching at reduced prices. Click the link in the description and apply right now. Also, if you're interested in Cookbook 3.1 or in the training books or the Circle Diet book, you can get all of those, as well as the variety of supplements. If you're looking to get in the shape of your life, remember, HCLT Supplements, the supplement brand you can trust. Code Greg, 15% off. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Please like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 bloops. And until next time, I am out.